welcome to another book versus film video, movie, film, either way, book versus movie, book versus film, depending on what country you are in. Today I am going to be talking about Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella, and the movie Confessions of a Shopaholic, and the book Shopaholic Takes Manhattan, or that wasn't meant to happen, it's fine. Or if you are in the UK, Secret Dreamworld of a Shopaholic and Shopaholic Abroad. These are the US beautiful double cover books that I read for my recent Shopaholic reread that I began kind of so I could make this video, but also because I just really wanted to reread them because they are some of my favourite novels of all time, and I will be continuing my reread when I get back to Denver. So this video is not going to be spoiler free. These novels have been out for 18 years. The film has been out for some years as well, so this video is not going to be spoiler free. This is my thoughts, this is my discussion on the book, or books in this case, versus the movie. So as I mentioned, this particular book is called Confessions of a Shopaholic, and the movie is also called Confessions of a Shopaholic. In the UK, this was Secret Dreamworld of a Shopaholic, but the movie was still called Confessions of a Shopaholic. But the movie actually covers both of these books, the first two books in the series. And what's really, really interesting for me as a seasoned fan is that sorry, there's somebody shouting outside now. Is that the events that take place in these two books, all the events do happen in the film, but they take place in a different order. So let's deal with the sort of biggest difference between the book and the movie, the fact that the book is set in the UK, with the exception of when Shopaholic does take Manhattan and she goes to New York. However, the whole of the movie is set in New York, with a little bit in Miami, I think. I literally only watched this a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I should have done it while it's fresh in my mind. But most of the movie is set in New York. So we have major differences in where the character lives, her relationship with her parents, and the fact that some characteristics of Becky Bloomwood are so definitely British. Some of the things that I love so much about her are some of the British idiosyncrasies that she has, and some of the ways she is with her friends and her family that are so typically British. I'm not saying that I didn't like the fact that the film was set in New York, but some of the things that I love about Becky as a character in the book are some of the things that she does because she's British. Then we have the fact that in the film, she goes and works for Luke Brandon very quickly, whereas in the book she is working for another company that isn't associated with Luke Brandon and only falls in with Luke Brandon when she goes to a financial product press conference thing. So that's quite different as well. We also have the character of Suze, who throughout the series of books, the entire Shopaholic series, I love Suze. I love the fact that she is a grounding influence on Becky in sort of almost every situation. She does have a bit of a difference in her character in one of the novels, which if you've read them, you'll know. I'm not going to go into any spoilers further down the series, just these two books. But Suze in the novels is single, and her and Bex live together, whereas in the movie we have Suze already with Tarquin, whereas as you know in the book she gets together with him and it's quite controversial because he's her cousin, and again it's quite a British thing because they've got that British wealthy person, slight member of the nobility thing going on. And we know that Tarquin is Scottish as well, and that's kind of part of the way his character grows and develops over the series. His Scottishness is part of it, and obviously in the movie, yes, they live together, but Tarquin is already there with Suze and they're already together, and he is not Scottish. And I don't even know if we actually learn his/their surname in the movie. I'm trying to think if we do. We must do, because she must get a wedding invitation, because obviously there's a wedding in the movie. Then we have the character of Derek Smeath. In the books, he is her bank manager, and in the movie, he is a debt collector. And that makes quite a bit of difference to the character. I think as her bank manager, he's definitely more human, and as the books progress, as his character changes, you definitely see that human side to him. And obviously at the end of the first book, he retires, and in the second book, we end up with a different bank manager, and so we kind of get that aspect of it, and Derek Smeath being still there to kind of support Rebecca as a customer, even though he shouldn't be in some ways. Whereas in the movie, he's debt collector, he's very much billed as kind of an evil character, very much a love to hate character, and it's, yeah, his character is very, very different. I find the character of Becky in essence is very similar in the book and the movie. She's the kind of, scatterbrain. She's got her flaws, but we love her anyway. We can sympathize with her. I'm not going to go into my thoughts on her as a character in terms of my rereading of her. This is purely book versus movie. Once I have completed my reread, I will sort of go into my thoughts on her character a little bit more. But yeah, this is very much one of those, like Bridget Jones, where I keep the movie and the books quite separate in my head. The movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. I went to see it in the cinema. I bought it on DVD. I loved it. I thought Isla Fisher did a great job. It's very much controversial whether we like the fact that they abandoned the UK setting and went for a US setting. My friends and I at the time were quite unhappy with it, but I think because it's become a separate entity in my head, I don't mind the fact that it's a US setting, because it's almost like it's a completely different thing. I thought the way they kind of played around with the order that things happen made it was quite an interesting decision, but obviously when they were adapting the book to become a script, they decided to use both books and take the main events and then just put them in a different order. But yeah, in my head, they are quite different things. I still love the books. I still like the film. But if you're looking for the film to be a straight adaptation of the book, then I think you would be disappointed if you were looking for the Becky Bloomwood that lives just outside London and works in London and has the kind of the shopping habit of La Senza and Our Price and Pret-a-Manger, because we've got a Becky Bloomwood that has the shopping habits of Bloomingdale's and Starbucks, and obviously Starbucks in London, but it's very much the New York lifestyle. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on the book versus movie. I would love to hear your thoughts, or if you have any of those books where you like the movie, you like the book, but the two are very separate things for you, because some of them in my head are very tied, and some of them in my head, like Bridget Jones and like this one, are very, very separate, and I don't mind that. And then sometimes I just think, like with Big Little Lies, that they did a really bad job. But some people love Big Little Lies. It won all those Golden Globes just after I made the video saying how much I disliked it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any of those that are just completely separate, or you have any where they think they did a really good job with your favourite book. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, and make sure you are subscribed so that my next book versus movie lands straight in your subscription feed. And I will see you soon. Bye.